24 podcast, where lifelong friends Dean Legiro and Eric Kuber share their love of all things music and movies. Dean has directed short films and is a music trivia buff. And Eric, trained in audio engineering, brings his extensive knowledge of music and film to the conversation as they discuss, debate, and celebrate their favorite albums, films, and much more.
Welcome, one and all, or zero right now, to the 3324 podcast, Wednesday, June 1st edition.
Hello.
Eric, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
You got your hankies? You got your tissues on hand? Okay. Are we
Just
supposed to start crying? I mean,
that's it. It's the sad rag.
Yeah, right?
So, yeah, I don't know if we're going to be crying. We're going to be talking about crying. I don't know if we'll actually be crying, but we'll be talking about the subject of movies that, and you know, you're an easy touch for this subject. I'm a little more difficult. I'm a little more dead. I'm dead inside.
Got a heart of stone.
Good evening,
Hello,
Zach. How are you?
How are you?
What's new and exciting, sir? Do you still have my guitar? Not my guitar. Do you still have the guitar I gave you, or just sell it, Zach?
I think he still has it. It's somewhere buried under the.
That's probably worth money.
Closet.
Probably worth money. I'm coming to see your father in June. I'm gonna go pick it up.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, why not? Sean, how are you?
Hello, Sean. How are you?
How's it going? Welcome aboard. Welcome. If you're here, put your salutation in the chat so we can certainly say hi to you. More importantly, for a more mercenary reason, we can put you on the wheel of names.
Yeah.
So you can win a prize. So come on and say hi, and we will absolutely we'll shout back at you. So thank you for joining us tonight. It is June 1st already, so we are entering the end of the halfway point of the year already. 2022 is racing to the finish, as it were.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, we're gonna say
another
year notched off.
Well, it's just moving way too fast.
There she is. She made it.
Hello, Beth.
Why did this happen again?
Kelly will not be joining us this evening. She
will not.
She is not. She's working hard on her crafting.
Okay.
In our basement. We're doing something on the weekend. So
cool.
Yeah. So she will not be joining us, but she's here in spirit. So good. You all have a good weekend. Did we have a nice Memorial Day weekend, everybody? Well,
it involved food, so that's always good. Elizabeth Berg, how are you? Greetings and salutations. Hello. Howdy, hi. How are you? Yeah, just a lot of food. So let me see. It was actually, but this was like a weekend of meat. Because I had like a burger, like this really good burger on Friday. I had steak on Saturday, and then burgers again on Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a meat.
We didn't
fest.
really, go all out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just us. So we bought, burgers, and so in the last three nights we've been, burgers and dogs. Yeah,
I could do it. I'll eat burgers and dogs. I'll eat burgers and dogs. Elizabeth's ready for the school year to be over and summer to begin. You should be just about winding down now, depending on the school system. Sean as well. Again, if you're in the chat, give us a hi. Say hello. We would love to recognize you. Throw your salutation up on the screen. So we're talking about tear jerkers. So which will be an interesting subject. First off, thank you for everybody that has checked out and downloaded our In Excess episode. Thank you for that. We had a blast talking about that great band, which was a lot of fun. And as you could see, if you look at the crawl across the bottom, we've got a very special episode coming out tomorrow. A little bit of a departure from doing single subject type things or top five. We decided, Eric and I, that it would be appropriate for us to celebrate one of our favorite artists, and which the late Ray Liotta, who we tragically lost last week or about a week and a half ago. So what we just did is we picked some of our favorite performances that we liked, some of the movies that we liked, and we went ahead and discussed that and celebrated him and celebrated his versatility as well, because he's like if you download the episode, you'll hear
Yeah.
But we absolutely advocate that he was more than his role in Goodfellas. You know, that's what he's known for. But
right,
if that's all you know Ray Liotta for, you don't know Ray Liotta. You're really missing a lot. You're missing a really fine actor.
So many great performances, and so many films that he made, then which we touch upon as well. So it's a. Yeah, we're just that's like this always hit us the hardest when it's so unexpected, and you'd seen a few things on YouTube with him late, like in recent years, and he just I realized that he didn't really look all that great. I mean, he looked very pale and very starting to really show his age, and it's something might have been amiss. I don't know. Most likely a heart thing, I would imagine, but that's the best way to go in your sleep, I guess, so.
Yes. Okay. I thought you meant your heart exploding is the best way to go.
No.
kind of like Ultron. But it's like,
apparently it was no, it was just, he just didn't wake up. And that's, if you're going to go, that's the way, I guess that's the best.
There you go.
So, appropriate for the tearjerker episode.
Yes, and we do not get that depressing tomorrow. We celebrate the great Ray Liotta, and we pick some of our favorite performances. So hopefully you'll check that out and celebrate along with us.
Yeah.
And that'll be tomorrow. Today we're talking about tearjerker films. Probably a subject you never would have thought that someone as dead inside as me would be talking about. And
well, as always, I always like to bring up the point that tearjerker films is again a very subjective term. There are various degrees of tearjerker films for us guys, and guys especially our age. We're there are action movies that bring us to tears. As a matter of fact, just the other over the weekend I saw Top Gun. Fantastic!
Yeah, I gotta check it out. Yeah, it's
absolutely fantastic, and I cried all the way through.
I think they said it was the first Tom Cruise movie to open with $100 million weekend.
Oh, it was well worth the wait, guys. If you get a chance to see it on the big screen, and if you can see it in IMAX, if you're willing to pay that much to see it, I highly recommend it. I went in with no expectations, and I just loved every minute of it. It was so good.
So you went to the danger zone?
I did.
Did you go dressed as Rick Rossovich in his volleyball outfit with no shirt on and blue jeans? Did you cosplay? Did you go to Top Gun dressed for the volleyball scene?
No, I had shorts on and flip flops, but and a t-shirt. But okay. So maybe. But yeah, we had a blast. My wife and I, we just didn't. We went in with again no expectation, but we just came out loving the film. In fact, I think it's even better than the first.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Which is saying a lot.
Yeah,
but,
that's saying something. Yeah. Absolutely. So, prizes. We've got some prizes tonight, and Eric hit it or said it succinctly that it's really subjective to determine what a tearjerker is. It's different for everybody. So we really couldn't pick a film or films because that would be kind of strange if it's like, oh well, actually I don't really cry at that film. So what we decided to do instead was give a prize that will make you cry. So we will be giving away 2 cases of Sour Patch Kids, watermelon flavored. So it's sour then sweet. This will certainly make you cry. And you can be watching any film you want with it, and
you'll be crying all the way to the dentist.
You'll get the reaction. Yeah, you'll get the desired reaction that you're looking for. So, we are going to talk about tearjerkers. We've got some trivia questions as well. What the thing I thought about first, which I want to kind of put a question out to everybody, is, and because, what was the first? Does anybody remember the first film that they cried at?
Oof, that's tough.
Can you remember the first time you cried at a film? I do. I happen to remember the experience because it was, it was a pretty intense film, and I saw it pretty young. So Rudy, wow, okay,
yeah.
Sean Astin, right before he was Samwise, caught him off guard. Caught Sean off guard. Yeah, and that's the thing. Did you see that? How old were you when you saw that, Sean? I think that's an important. Hey, Dwight. I think that's an important question as well.
Hello, Dwight.
Is how old? So, also, if you're gonna put a comment in about the first film you saw that made you cry, put your age in as well. I'd like to know that. Brian's song. That was a big one for people of a certain age.
Yeah.
You know, with James Caan and Billy D. Williams. So Sean, you were 20 when you first, that was the first film you cried at, was Rudy, and you saw it when you were 20. Eric, you don't remember?
I don't. I grew up. Well, I grew up.
You might want to move closer to the camera. That might help.
I grew up with a lot of television, so there were plenty of things I saw on TV, like Brian's song, made for TV movies. That, of course, watching a lot of shows like Little House on the Prairie. I mean, you can go on and on. I mean, that in itself, that show will
gets you ready.
Michael Landon cries in every episode, literally every episode.
That gets you ready for that. That like kind of works out your tear ducts. Little House on the Prairie.
I think though my first film might be. Geez, I don't know. I
John DeGoog, anything on the Hallmark Channel?
Might have been Kramer versus Kramer. I remember seeing that in the theater. I think it was the Pickwick had it at one point. I saw that, and I remember
Hoffman and Streep. About them getting divorced.
That was a tough.
Hey, Mark.
Subject matter. So yeah,
there he is.
Hey,
I'll tell you mine. And it's you might think it's a strange choice, but back in the days of living around the corner from a movie theater, I went to go see everything and saw pretty much anything.
Yeah.
And in the film came out in 80, so I probably saw it in 81 by the time it got to the local theater. And it was The Elephant Man.
Oh, yeah.
And one scene in particular, I didn't know what to make of this film. It was, and then I ended up being obsessed with John Merrick. I read a book about his life and all that kind of stuff. But one scene in particular in that film that kind of I wasn't ready is when John Merrick, the Elephant Man, goes into the hospital and they start kind of taking care of him he's kind of up in this attic room, and they're kind of doing things, and Anthony Hopkins' character, Dr. Treves, is going to talk to the head of the hospital just to get him to have the Elephant Man stay there permanently, and they don't usually do that in the hospital. You have to be there if you're sick, and not like a resident.
Yeah.
So Anthony Hopkins' character is he's talking with John Merrick, the Elephant Man, and about kind of trying to prep him for an interview, kind of getting him ready. So they bring up the director of the hospital, John Gielgud, and he starts asking John Merrick all these questions, and he's afraid, and he doesn't answer anything. He doesn't answer any of the prepared questions.
Right.
So he turns around and leaves, and they're starting to walk out, and they're like, this is no place for this man. They thought he was like a dummy, couldn't speak, and he stands up and he starts reciting either a poem or something from the Bible.
Yeah.
And they hear him outside.
Yeah.
And then Anthony Hopkins, I didn't teach him that.
Yeah.
And it just showed that inside there was this person in there that beyond all the grotesqueness and the affliction he had, that there was a person in there that did read on his own and was intelligent, but was judged by his, and I was just sitting in the theater. I'm like, oh my God, because he just kind of stood up. He kind of stood up that, just the way it was shot. And as they're walking down the stairs, they kind of hear him and they stop. And, so.
Yeah, that's a great scene. That's a great choice. Yeah.
Well, it chose me. I didn't choose it.
Well, I'm saying.
I was just there.
It's just like,
I remember, and Elizabeth says, Zach laughs because I cried almost everything, begin shaking and he knows I'm done. It's like kind of. What I like watching now for tearjerkers, I actually like watching reaction videos to some of these movies, and then they start crying, and then I get teared up because watching their reaction to something, it's weird.
Or
it's like a
album,
vicarious thing.
A great album that we love, and they're like, oh, that too, yeah.
So anybody else? Do you remember the first film that got teared up? It got to you. Hey, listen, we're all confessing. We've got our hankies here, so go ahead and lay it on us. What was the first film, or what's an easy one that you watch it and cry every time, right? Because that's something too. If crying at a film once is one thing, because then you kind of, when you watch it again, it's coming, and you can kind of steel yourself and kind of put up your wall. But then there are ones that no matter what, it's coming and it still gets you.
Oh, I don't
have any
care
of those.
Anymore. I don't care anymore. It's like, if and I don't care who sees it anymore. It's like I'm at that age where it's just going to come, either way. And you're right. I do tend to cry. I mean, with all this nostalgia going on, and all these sequels, and especially it's like something like Top Gun comes 30 years later, and it's like, I got 2 words: Val Kilmer. So
a lot of people are talking about.
Plays a very important role in the film, which I thought was great.
Wow, we got Green Mile, we got Old Yeller. I actually have trivia questions about those 2 films. Oddly enough, so we've got trivia questions. Let's roll one of those out. Let's get this going. The first question I have is going to be, we're going to start with easy ones, right? We're going to ramp up the difficulty, and we'll see.
Yeah.
So the first question is should be easy peasy. If you're just joining us, put us hi into the chat so we know that you're here. What novel by Nicholas Sparks is widely considered the ultimate tearjerker? What novel by Nicholas Sparks, it's a film, is widely considered to be the ultimate tearjerker? It's like number 1. Hey, Ray, how are you?
Ray, how are you? Love seeing people coming in late.
We've got answers coming in fast and furious. Beth was first with The Notebook. Sean, The Notebook. Elizabeth, The Notebook. Zach, The Notebook, which is exactly right. That like kind of brought tearjerkers to a new level.
Yeah,
because guys were I've full disclosure, I've never seen The Notebook. I think I saw the end of it, which means I probably missed the point of it. Yeah. But that one is kind of widely regarded as like the ultimate recent tearjerker. There haven't been ones that have really been kind of tug at the heartstrings like that one does. So yeah, that kind of brought it to that level that we haven't seen before.
It's the I'm not going to say stereotypical, but it is the rom-com thing, like in most but it's one that us guys could watch and enjoy. You watch it with your significant other, and if I dare you not to cry, I mean, if you don't, I don't know what to say. You don't have a soul.
either that or you hate James Garner. My Sister's Keeper, that's another one, right? Yeah. There's so many, and some of those, there's that whole other subgenre of like the young girl with the terminal illness, like A Walk to Remember, and some of those other ones, The Fault in Our Stars. There was a lot of those kind of that were bubbling under with like hitting like the younger crowd of kind of getting in a relationship that they know might be doomed. And
first 10 minutes of Up.
Last film that Sean cried out was Coda. What is that? I've never even heard of that. Dwight's got a good one. Mandalorian season 2, episode 8.
I think we
can't say much about it. If you know. Mm-hmm. Let's put it that way. And even though most people kind of saw what was coming or guessed, it still hit you when you finally saw it.
Yeah.
Like you guessed what was probably going to happen, but it didn't make a difference when you actually saw it and just everything else that went on in that scene. Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. All eyes turned to me when we were watching.
they were looking at your reaction.
Family, everybody, when the minute it happens,
they were
all eyes turned to me. It's like, what's Dad doing right now? And
they're looking at you for the reaction of how they should react to it. So Elizabeth said, when I read The Fault in Our Stars, I didn't talk for days. The movie was the same way. Yeah, it's powerful and there's nothing wrong with it. I tend to kind of try not to cry, but there are certain films that are going to get you. We just in our Ray Liotta show, we talk about Field of Dreams. And that's going to get, and that's one that is coming, but it gets you every time, because when you take that journey and you kind of just go with it, and it pays you off. It doesn't pay you off until like the very last 2 minutes of the film. You get the payoff. You get this spectacular buildup of something else you think is going to happen, and it gets you. Steel Magnolias, another one.
Best kind of sentimentality. Field of Dreams, no doubt. Steel Magnolias, that's one.
Sally Field and Olympia
Julia Roberts.
And
yep.
And, Dolly Parton.
For me, $1 Million Baby.
The End of the Natural, right?
Yeah, that's
Roy Hobbs and
Roy Hobbs, yeah.
Wonder Boy.
Mm-hmm. The music gets you too. It's that score. $1 Million Baby for me. I was
that one hit me in the theater. I saw that in the theater.
I was a mess. I mean that's
and I can't watch it. I've only ever seen it once. I don't think I can watch it again.
Yeah,
because I just wasn't ready.
Right.
For that, you think you're going into watching a film about one thing, and then all of a sudden it just takes a turn. You're like, holy crap!
Anytime you see somebody like Clint Eastwood, right, really show that kind of emotion and break down, and I mean, come on,
it was a tough,
that was a tough one.
You weren't ready. Elizabeth says that the things that make her cry is what she's all about, right? Some people enjoy that. They, it's
cathartic.
Actually feels when you're done. Yeah, when you're done crying,
absolutely
you kind of feel
cathartic. Yeah,
you're like, oh. And you feel good. Another film that made me cry, which I saw in high school, and impacted me very much, and it became my favorite book, was the original of Mice and Men.
Yeah,
and I remember seeing that in English class. It might have been like 10th grade or something. Yeah. I'd heard of the title of the book. It's one of those things you kind of hear about, and we had to read it. And then they screened the original 1938 with Burgess Meredith and Lon Chaney Jr. And I was just like, at the end, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's a heartbreak. It always was.
It was
no matter what version you watch,
it was just so powerful and just so like it kind of just like life came like crashing down on me at that point, just because of just the overall theme of what it is about dreams that are just out of reach, and you're there,
right?
And then just something just gets in the way to keep you away. Seabiscuit, Tobey Maguire. Right, about the racehorse. My dog Skip, I cried. I saw that in the theater, and I cried at that too. That was a tough one. Yeah, my dog Skip with Frankie Muniz about his dog, and because it was like a rat terrier. Anything with pets like that, pets are gonna
that
get
one,
you.
The Disney, the Incredible Journey.
Yep,
with the dog and the cat.
The
two dogs and the cat,
and two dogs and the cat.
That was with Michael J. Fox.
Malkovich, Mice and Men was killer. Well, Malkovich was the killer in that film. He killed the girl. In terms of endearment, right? Shirley MacLaine, Deborah Winger, and Jack Nicholson won a Best Supporting Actor Oscar for that. Oddly enough, so that kind of filled out his shelf of having Best Actor Oscars and Best Supporting Actors. Marley and Me, again about pets. Right. Elizabeth saying Marley and Me, I can't do. She's like, I can't do it. Eric, do you have a trivia question?
I do, but one more pet movie, and it's one that my mom talks about all the time, and that is with Richard Gere, and I forget the name of it, but it's the dog, pretty much. What is it? Nico or something like I forget the name, but she's always talking about it, and I finally saw it, and I was like, yeah, okay. I know what you're talking, because I don't really go in for
Cujo.
No. Richard Gere was in it, and it was a husky of some sort. It was like an Alaskan type dog, and
interesting.
And it was a sad, of course, a sad story. But
well, do you have a pet question? Because I actually have a pet question.
No, I don't. But,
let me do a pet question since we're in this thing. Yes, but Dwight, you are exempt from it because it is about Old Yeller. So, and you're just gonna you could answer anyway, but so what in the movie Old Yeller? What happened to Old Yeller at the end? What happened to Old Yeller? That Yeller.
You're really gonna put them through this?
That Old Yeller.
How dare you do this to me? I can break everybody's heart.
That Old Yeller dog, and that was like there's a Disney film.
PTSD here
with Tommy Kirk, who's like one of the child actors of the age back then,
right?
And Fess Parker was the father, who was kind of like absentee, and I think Chuck Connors was in it as well. He was like he came in and checked in on everybody.
Yeah.
Well, Ray, before that. So Ray, before what you put, what happens to it? Dwight, you have to stop. You're oh my God, Dwight, you're killing my trivia questions. You're killing my trivia questions. So okay, so Ray put he shot. Well, yeah, Sean Grady shot. Zach, he dies.
He dies.
If he dies, he dies.
He dies.
Elizabeth kind of got it right. There he goes. He got rabies and he died.
Yes.
And Mark got it as well, rabies. So there was a wolf that was attacking the family. And it was Dorothy McGuire was the mother, and the wolf was kind of coming in, and Old Yeller, fended off, defended the family, but the wolf ended up biting Old Yeller in the neck. So they kind of quarantined Old Yeller for a while to see, and he seemed like he was okay. And then the kid went out to feed Old Yeller, and he's like foaming at the mouth and snapping. And then they knew that they had to, do it. And the littlest kid was really upset about it and was upset. But it turns out that Old Yeller had some kids, so they bring the pup to him, and he didn't originally. The little kid didn't want it because he was so in love with Old Yeller. But then he kind of accepted that happens, and there was another dog that he could give love to. So Ray, I don't know if I even saw the movie, just remember hearing it. You just remember hearing the shot? The shotgun?
Well, it's one of those movies where everybody, it's always referred to, in any
Not really. I kind of forgot about it. Yeah, I was like, I don't really hear about Old Yeller anymore.
Old Yeller, I cried at Old Yeller. It's like a famous...
Well, it's on Disney Plus now, so yeah, if you have Disney Plus, you could check it out. So,
funnily enough, I actually do have a trivia question pertaining to
dogs.
Not a dog, but it does have significance, I guess.
Okay, lay it out. Let's do another one.
Okay, who is in Jerry Maguire? Who is Tom Cruise talking to when he says it was just a mission statement before he breaks down and cries? There's a scene there, Jerry Maguire, Tom Cruise, he's talking to someone, and he says it was just a mission statement, and he just breaks down and cries, and it's one of the best. By the way, one of the best. It always gets me. It's one of the best crying. Tom Cruise is a great crier. When he cries,
he doesn't do it very often.
He doesn't do it very often. When he does, he's very convincing. So who's he talking to when he says that? This was after the breakup with Renee Zellweger, and he's realizing that they're not meant for each other, and So who is he talking to?
There we go. Anybody?
We got
Zellweger. Is one guess?
No.
It was just what was it? It was just a mission statement.
It was just a mission statement, and then he breaks down and cries.
Eric will bring the hard ones. You know that he will bring the hard ones.
Did anybody see Jerry Maguire?
Everybody did.
I guess that's my first question.
I'm sure. I'm sure most of us saw it. It's iconic, right?
Yeah.
Cuba?
No.
No. We're running out of characters.
All right.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Was it the kid?
No.
The son?
It's not the kid.
Wow. I don't know.
It's the fish.
Oh, there we go. That's what that meant. Sean had it. Goldfish.
The goldfish. That he takes from the office. Remember, he has his breakdown, and he takes the fish, and that's who he's talking to. In the fish tank, he's like, it was just a mission, and he breaks down and cries, and he's talking to the fish.
That was at the top of the chat, and I didn't know what it meant. It was just like goldfish. I'm like, okay, there must be like
I jumped the gun, Sean.
Maybe there's like another conversation going on I'm not aware of, and then there you go, goldfish was the answer.
That's the answer, yeah. I said it was about an animal, so...
You're absolutely right.
There you go.
You're absolutely right. So, if you're just joining us, we are giving away some prizes tonight. We can't figure out what a good movie to make you cry is, so we'll give you some food that will make you cry. We're going to give away 2 cases or 1 case each of a 24-count package of Sour Patch Kids watermelon candy. So this way you can decide when you want to cry, and you don't have to turn on a movie to do it.
You'll be crying all the way to the dentist. You'll be
you'll be hopped up. You'll be sour, and then you'll be sweet. So that's the best way to do it. It's one of those things. It's funny, with these types of movies where, like Mandalorian, like you totally weren't expecting a moment like that, and that's when I think when you're really caught off guard. Like if you're going to see a romance movie, you're kind of almost like ready for it,
right? Yeah.
But when you've got these scenes in films that kind of just catch you, and you're kind of not ready. and I think those are some of the ones that are more impactful too.
Plenty of them.
And there's plenty of war films. A lot of people, like Saving Private Ryan.
Oh my God.
Yes. Just real, like so intense. Schindler's List. Those are just intense movies that kind of get you. Okay, since Dwight brought up Titanic, I've got a trivia question about Titanic. He must have saw my list because he's like mentioning stuff that I have questions of. What is the name of the gem in Titanic? What's the gem that Bill Paxton is on the hunt for? You can give me. There's an English way to say it, and there's also a French way to say it. So if you want to let me know let us know what was the name of the gem in Titanic that Bill Paxton just was single-mindedly hunting. Hope Diamond? Nope. Good guess though. Good guess. Ooh. Wow, Ray, huh? He went exotic and went for the French. So we'll wait. We'll give he's got it. So we're gonna wait. We'll give some other people a chance to jump in. What was the name of the gem in Titanic that it turns out that Rose Bukater DeWitt had on her person the whole time? Stole it from Billy Zane and put it in her. She had his tuxedo on, right? And the gem was in the pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got 2 right answers. So the first one, Ray, is Coeur de la Mer, which is also translated into Heart of the Ocean.
The Heart of the Ocean, yeah.
And Beth got it as well. Heart of the Ocean was what she had, and then she just like threw it over. I think I would have thrown her over too. Said, "Go get it." If I was Bill Paxton.
Wow. Talking about Heart of Stone. There you go.
The only way you're going to get the Heart of the Ocean is if you have a heart of stone. And you don't let anybody get in your way. That was a tough one. You know what? I think some people, Titanic was intense for different people for different reasons. Some people found the whole intensity of the event intense and were crying over that, over seeing like the devastation and the human suffering. And then some people were crying at the very end because of the romance.
Yeah.
Between Jack and Rose, and how, she would, for some reason, like wouldn't let him get on the door, and float along. He had to like stay in the ocean and just like freeze.
Funnily enough, there's a theory out there that
she's like the worst person in the world.
That everybody thinks it was all in her head. And if you think about that, if the fact that he couldn't climb on top of that door,
she wouldn't let him.
She wouldn't let him.
She was selfish. She was like the worst person in the world. Right?
I'm convinced. It's actually a theory that's going around that it was she made him up.
See, tearjerker, Jack floating all the way down. He should have stayed on the door. I mean, it was just intense. I saw that in the theater. Probably twice at least.
Yeah.
Because it was so intense. The spectacle of recreating that, and just the couple laying in bed together while the stuff was the thing is filling up. And
that sequence.
You got no sequence.
Right.
Yeah, sure. It's just kind of like all this stuff is just tugging and playing at your emotions, and I don't know how you could not. How you could not. So
okay, I got a trivia.
Good. Lay it on us.
Okay, so and I think you'll appreciate this one, Dean, because it's one of your favorite films, I think.
Flash Gordon?
No.
Oh, come on.
Okay, in Michael Mann's Last of the Mohegans.
Ooh.
How does Alice, the character of Alice, Cora Monroe's sister, Madeline Stowe plays Cora Monroe and her sister in the film. How does she die in the film?
Ooh. Such a great scene.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the best. I think it's one of the best film scenes.
Yeah.
No, there's no dialogue. It's like the last 5 to 10 minutes of the film there's no dialogue. It's just music.
That score.
Yeah, it's just music and cinematography and filmmaking.
Yep.
And it's just I saw that in the theater. I was like, it was just like that was like my introduction to Michael Mann.
Yeah.
Was Last of the Mohicans. Does anybody have that answer? So Cora's sister Alice. How does she
die in the
meet
film?
her
It's a
tragic
demise?
Yeah.
The film itself is it's a sad story.
Yeah.
All in all, but
I will find you.
she tragically dies, and how does she die?
All right, we'll let a couple of more. We got one answer coming in, so let's see. We'll see if we can get some more. And yeah, just Wes Studi was just great in that movie. He was just and Daniel Day-Lewis, of course.
Daniel Day-Lewis,
King of Method. I mean, he like was living in the woods and like
yeah.
No, dude, like all that authentic stuff and all that crazy stuff. He
scenery.
It just really kind of immerses himself in that when he plays the character. So we've got one answer, and it is the correct answer. So let's give it to Ray Fry. Follows the guy she loved down the cliff.
Down the cliff. Just because it's the main
Hawkeye's
character,
brother, half brother,
right?
Yeah,
and it's the chief's son,
suicide.
And he gets killed, and he falls, and then she commits suicide to follow him down.
Yeah, she jumps
fell
off.
in love with him. Yeah,
and that's when the father becomes the last of the Mohicans.
That's right.
The music during that scene is just incredible. The slow motion, even like the sound effects are muted as well. So they're kind of there, but then the music is just kind of pulsing and pounding, and the slow motion action. It was just really incredible. So really great one. All right, I got a trivia question. This is a stumper. I think I found this by accident. I'm like, this is a really good question. So everybody put your thinking caps on. It is doable. Okay. It is doable, but it's you're going to have to think about it. Talking about one of the ultimate tearjerkers, Forrest Gump. At multiple points during that movie, you find yourself either crying tears of joy when he first starts running, and his magic legs break away and he's able to run. So you're kind of crying there. The whole Vietnam thing with Bubba, there's all these different points. But after the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company's established, right? What company did Lieutenant Dan invest part of the Bubba Gump Shrimp profits in? Forrest Gump ends up getting a letter about a company that Lieutenant Dan invested their money into, which made him like a mega millionaire or a billionaire, whatever it was. What was the company that Lieutenant Dan invested in that he took the Bubba Gump Shrimp profits? So go ahead and put your answer in the chat, which is
that's a good one.
And then the scene at the end, it gets you too when he
the kid
when he meets his, like he sees, you go, he's named after his son, his name. Oh, his name is Forrest. His dad's name is Forrest, and he wasn't picking up on that.
Yeah.
And then his concern was, is he like me, or is he And Tom Hanks's performance during that, just like kind of, like that he made something, a child, and it's going to be like this beautiful boy. I put up answers immediately, and they don't get seen via Facebook fast enough. No, you're there. We just no, actually, did you put up? I don't see anything for this one, Dwight. We've got answers come. Oh, there you are. You're there. Everybody's there at the same time. It looks like everybody that answered got it correct. The answer is Apple. Mark got it. Zach got it. Sean got it. Elizabeth gave us an icon as well. And Dwight got it. Fruit company. Yeah, you invested in this some company called Apple, and it just made like a boatload of money. So that was another good kind of non-specific. Some like we said, Field of Dreams, like guys are going to more connect with that, and there are some other ones that women might connect more with. And then like Forrest Gump, I think is one that just everybody kind of just connected with the story, even though I think Jenny was another one of the most evil people on earth. She was just an awful person.
Well, she had her issues, and she was honest. I mean, but she had some demons to,
Yeah, but she just,
it was a difficult relationship for
sure.
Was
awful. She was awful to him. Ray, that was it was at the end part when he went back home. And then he got like the letter in the mail, and he opened it up and had the Apple logo on it. And he said, "Oh, Lieutenant Dan, kind of invested the money from Bubba Gump Shrimp Company." So it was after, it was kind of when he went back home, but before Dan with the magic legs, I believe. Magic legs.
Yeah. Titanium, I think, on the space shuttle. They made.
I never thanked you for saving my life, Forrest.
Yeah, it's actually my son said he was watching it in school today because I guess they're done and
really?
they're not doing any work.
Oh, so they put on Forrest Gump.
Put on Forrest Gump. So they got like midway through. So I guess they'll finish it tomorrow. It's nice, you go to school, just watch a movie. There, sure.
Yeah, well, those are the good old days. Do you have another trivia? You have a trivia question?
I do.
What do you got?
I do.
The Impossible Man.
Here is another sort of epic type film, which us guys are into. So in Gladiator, with Russell Crowe, what was the last line spoken in the film?
Jeez.
After Maximus's death,
freedom.
The last scene in the movie. What was the last line spoken, and who spoke it? And who spoke it?
Last line,
which
and
gets me every time. By the way, you get
Dwight. We're relying on you for this one, Dwight. You have to carry the group.
What was the quote? What did he say? And who said it?
While we're waiting, the prizes tonight are Sour Patch Kids, a case. We'll be giving away 2 cases of Sour Patch Kids. This way you can make yourself cry and you don't have to have a movie to do it. Tomorrow, if you haven't looked at our bumper, we have a very special episode coming out. It's a tribute to the late and truly great Ray Liotta. Yeah. Eric and I picked 3 of our favorite performances from him, so we didn't just talk about one film. We already did a Goodfellas episode, so you can check that out. But we really were able to spend some time just appreciating Ray Liotta. I think that's a donut hole, Eric. No one is answering that one. That is a tough one.
Wow.
That's a tough nut to crack. When we do trivia, Eric is not allowed to write questions. Unless he writes the very last one, which is like the stumper. He gets the stumper.
Time. And it's actually, it's Juba, played by Jaman Hansu. And it was, I'll see you soon, but not yet.
Yep. They've been trying to make
He was free. He was freed as a slave. Maximus freed him, so he gets to go home to see his family, and Maximus made that happen. So that was the last line spoken in the film.
But he's going to have a good life, so he's not going to see him right away.
That's right.
He's gonna live for a little bit.
Yep.
Now, they were trying to make a prequel to it, or it's
still in the works. Apparently, it's done. It's in production, I think, or I know the script
with Russell Crowe.
I don't think he's in it.
I was going to say they got to get that guy a personal trainer. Then
I'm pretty sure it's about the kid in the film, Lucius. Right. I think it's about him.
All right,
if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know. Anyway,
yeah, if it's Russell Crowe, they need they got to get somebody to work him out a little bit and get him whip him back into shape. Even though he's apparently playing Zeus in Thor: Love and Thunder, but he's still kind of. Barrel chested.
He's pretty. Yeah, he's pretty broad in the film, and it's such a great trailer. I'm looking forward to that one.
So yeah, Jimon Hunsu, and he was part of the MCU, right? He was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
He was in the one Steven Spielberg did.
Amistad.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
The slave
All right,
so.
Let me see. I've got 3 questions left. Dwight already kind of hit one, but I'm not sure if people know it. But okay, I'll go into this. Is music related. This is one of the ultimate tearjerkers from 1990. I forget what year it was. Mm-hmm. But I'll give you the main character's name. Let me see before I give you the trivia question. I'll give you the main character's name. See if you can get the movie. The main character's name is Sam Wheat. Do you remember, Eric?
Sam Wheat.
I
think so. I'm not sure.
Anybody remember Sam Wheat?
This is a trick question. No.
No, it's not a trick question.
It's not. No, it's not.
It was all over the place. When this movie came out, it was all over the place. The movie is Ghost.
Yeah.
And when Ghost came out, everybody was seeing Ghost, right? Kind of because Patrick Swayze was in it for the guys and for the girls, right? Ray got it. Everybody was just kind of going to see this film. It kind of introduced me to I forget his name now. Tony Goldwyn. who was the friend. He was really scummy, but he was a
scumbag.
He was so slimy, but he was a really Tony Goldwyn is a really good actor. He never kind of
really is.
He never peaked when he should have. But he was good. He was like always trying. Oh, Molly, and like spilling stuff on his shirt. Oh, Molly, kind of taking his shirt off and just so weaselly, And Sam is like watching him as the ghost. And he's like flipping the picture over or something to like scare him, Oh, Molly, man. Oh, Molly,
It's been so long since I've seen it. It really has.
So the trivia question is.
Oh, that wasn't it?
No, that wasn't it. Okay. That was like the entry. That got you into be able to answer the question. The trivia question is, and I expect everybody to get this one, is what song is playing during the iconic pottery scene in Ghost? I think it probably re-entered the charts at that point. If it didn't, everybody was singing the song, and it kind of brought this song to a new level. We've got answers coming in. We've got our first correct answer right off the bat. But what song is playing during the iconic pottery scene in Ghost? And Whoopi Goldberg won a Best Supporting Actress Oscar.
That's right.
For this, and she was really good at it. Yeah, Oda Mae Brown.
And she was fantastic in that.
Actually, the question I was going to write instead was what is the value of the coin that Sam pushes up the wall? What is it? It was a penny.
It was a penny. Yeah.
We've only have one answer. Only one person knows what song was playing during the pottery scene in Ghost. We're actually ramping up while we're doing this. We're actually ramping up to a real trivia night. Our next show is going to be on the 15th, and then we actually have 3 this month. And then on the 29th, I think we're going to do a full real trivia night on the 29th. Eric and I are going to put our heads together. We're going to come up with some really banger questions, and it'll be a full-on scored trivia night with scores and points and photos and kind of all this type of guessing stuff where, we'll have pictures up for trivia as well. And it looks like Sean wins. Sean wins the internet with Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. That song just kind of...
That was their song.
Brought couple... Yep. Yeah, I'm sure as a result of this, people started using this as their wedding song. I'm sure people that got married when Ghost came out probably chose Unchained Melody as their wedding song as a result. It had to be.
Yep.
Had to be one of those.
I have a song related.
All right, let's do it.
I'm pretty sure I think probably all you will get this one. This is pretty easy. Okay, so name the song that Lloyd Dobler plays on his boombox.
That's a good one.
The movie is Say Anything. And so the character is John Cusack's character, Lloyd Dobler. What song is playing on the famous scene where he's standing in the rain as every movie he's standing in the rain at some point. But in this film, he's standing under her window, and he's Iona Sky's window, and he's got the boombox blaring. What's the song playing on the boombox?
Sean, it is not Unchained Melody. I'm just playing. He put his answer in. We've got answers rolling in, fast and furious.
I kind of figured.
Again, this is one of those iconic things that brought that song kind of out into the open. And when you pair it with an iconic film and a tearjerker like that, especially a teen one, you've got a recipe for a great film.
Yeah.
There we are. I don't know why we
lost you there for a second.
Yeah, we got kicked out of the studio. But Sean had it first. In your eyes, Zach had it. In your eyes, Ray. In your eyes, he corrected himself with the in. See, just so you know that he put in. See that he fixed it. He fixed his own error.
Yes.
In your eyes, which was
Peter Gabriel. Yep.
Peter Gabriel, a great one. John Hughes is known for some of those tear jerkers. We did Breakfast Club was one of our first.
That's right.
First episodes. And that was a pretty intense film, not tearjerker because of the romance or anything like that, but kind of the intensity of some of it. And then for me, Some Kind of Wonderful. The end of Some Kind of Wonderful is always like a little teary. They really worked that angle. Again, a rewrite of Pretty in Pink and done the way that John Hughes originally wanted to.
I just remember the line is, all I care about is this, my drums, and you.
And you.
Was and you. Yeah.
And Peter Gabriel was the artist that cashed in on that. Who'd have thought a Peter Gabriel song would become iconic in a romance film?
That's right.
Right?
That's right. Well, and anything's possible. Look at Kate Bush is running up the charts right now with Stranger Things 4, which we binged over the weekend, which was I really enjoyed it. But hearing that song and that getting popular, that that's great.
That'll do it.
Artists like that are for me are key.
So let's put it into the chat. We talked in the beginning about what are some of this, and Sean shared his about Rudy. That was like one of the first movies that made him cry, and then he shared one of the most recent ones. Let's hear some of the ones that have made you cry. I haven't heard anything from Ray and Dwight. Let's hear some of the some of those ones that get you, that kind of grab you. And
I'll speak for Kelly.
And make you cry. Go ahead, speak for her.
Shawshank is her favorite film, and she, like you, she doesn't cry a lot in films, and she's she could have a heart of stone, and but this one gets her every time. It's either that or To Kill a Mockingbird, of course, with the great scene in the courtroom when Greg Peck stands up and she, stand up, your father's walking, and he walks out, and everybody they all stand up, and it's just
the champ.
So those two scenes in Shawshank at the end when when they're reunited on the beach, that gets her every time. So
I'll go see my friend Andy.
Yeah, I wish. I hope
that the champ with John Voight and Ricky, now known as Rick, Ricky Schroeder.
That was
a remake of the one from the 40s with Mickey Rooney and I think Wallace Beery, I think it was, was the original, but I believe Dwight, I believe you're talking about the one from the 70s with John Voight. Anything with kids, also kind of a kid losing somebody or a kid, kind of in peril, kind of will make you,
there's an adoptive situation happening.
Cuckoo's Nest. That's interesting. That's an interesting choice. Cuckoo's Nest. Does anybody else? Does that? I always thought that as like more tragic and sad, but then kind of happy. But I don't know that I found myself, like that it was a tearjerker, because it kind of ended on a positive note with like Chief like lifting up the sink and like throwing it, throwing it through it and escaping and kind of getting out, So I was kind of like saw a little bit of redemption in it, that it was just it was kind of sad and pathetic that people got treated that way. There you go, happy tears. That's it, happy tears.
Yeah.
Right?
It gets you from all sides. I mean, it sometimes it comes unexpected.
Yeah.
Those are the best moments. Those are the truly great films when it really hits you, you don't even expect it.
Because there was a lot that went on. Like Billy Bibbit kind of lost his stutter because of everything, and then Nurse Ratched just kind of starts hitting him hard again, and then he starts like, she exerts his control back over him, and he kind of recedes back into the issues he had. There was a lot of intensity there.
Another great film for me was Road to Perdition.
Tom Hanks.
With Tom Hanks and oh my God, that was at the end, the kid, and it was, and again, another tragic movie. Yeah. But it's just, the kid's going to grow up to be on the straight and narrow, and it's like he's not going to follow in his father's footsteps, and so it's a great ending, but to a sad story. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Dwight, I forgot about that, seeing the scar on his head. Yeah. With Nicholson.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he had that vacant look in his eyes.
It's also a disturbing kind of it's a shocking scene. Like it kind of but you feel something, So if you're not tearing up, you're moved by it. In some way.
Cool Hand Luke was kind of along those lines as well. Just like that. They're very similar. Yeah. With the kind of outsider that's within the system, but is changing it also, but then has a, wow, Dwight is just giving all these, like all these adjectives are like bringing it back to me where, where he's shaking him limp and just kind of, he had there was nothing.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like some of these character actors over the years too, like when they have their moments in films like this, and it's just, it's hard because you don't expect that character to do that, to have that, to have that happen.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Eric? Is he frozen? Let me know. Eric froze on my feed. Is Eric frozen out there in the audience? There he is. You're back. You were gone. Now your audio is gone.
Now my audio's gone?
Oh, now it's back. We got all kinds of technical difficulties.
Yeah, why is it the end here?
We have to go to, there we go. See, you froze. You froze, man. You froze up.
I froze.
You froze, man.
Nothing happened. Nothing showed on my end.
Everything freezes. All right, I've got another trivia question. We'll start winding down. Actually, I have two more, but
okay.
This one's in honor of Dwight because somehow he accessed my trivia question sheet here. But here it is, and this is a specific one. Hang on, we've got Sean. The Star Wars score in Force Awakens got me hearing in a band. Yeah, that kind of that's something different, right? That's kind of intangible, right? And it's I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but it's not something visual because you're not reacting to an event that happened in the film. But the score kind of brings you back. It actually pulls you back to an experience you had. That, when they re-released the trilogy in the theaters in the mid-90s, and so when I went to go see Star Wars for the first time on the big screen, I got that feeling of that first, when that fanfare first starts and the word Star Wars kind of pops on the screen after not having seen it in the theater for however many years.
Yeah.
It's a visceral reaction that you have to just, it's actually not like nothing happened in the film yet, but it was, you're connecting it with something else from long ago. So Ray can't think of a specific film, but we'll second Rudy when he gets the letter and he's finally accepted into Notre Dame. So here's a question. The movie My Girl, and Dwight already knows this because he put it in there. I don't know if you're going to go back into the chat, but how did Thomas J., who was played by Macaulay Culkin, how did he meet his end in My Girl? Macaulay Culkin dies in My Girl. How did he get killed? It was so random.
Yeah. And
it wasn't the Wet Bandits. So don't put that in the chat. Oh, we got people coming in. There we go. We got answers coming in. We got correct answers coming in, too. Wow, I'm surprised that this many people know about My Girl, about Macaulay Culkin.
Right? And they knew nothing about Gladiator.
But they know how Macaulay Culkin died in My Girl, which was stung by bees. I mean, he got lit up by the nest. Like he went back after he kisses Veda. Her name is Veda, not Vader, but Veda. And then he goes back to look for her mood ring. And then he just gets lit up by the bees. I mean, those had to be like the swarm that we used to hear about by being a dumbass. He was trying to do the right thing for his new girlfriend. He was trying to find her mood ring, and the bees just kind of terrorized him and just kind of killed him. And oddly enough, Dan Aykroyd, wasn't he the funeral? Didn't he own the funeral parlor in that film? Yeah. It was kind of weird. So that was. I didn't think everybody was going to get that. I thought this might be a little too a little too a little too random. But I'm happy. I've got one last one, which is absolute a slam dunk. Everybody should get it. But do you have another one? And we'll start winding down. We'll start selecting some winners for some Sour Patch Kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. We got about 8 people here. Nothing?
I got one more, but it's really easy.
Go ahead.
That's fine. I hope. In which Rocky film does Adrian fall into a coma?
Ooh.
Which Rocky film does Adrian fall into a coma? Really?
Adrian in a coma.
Adrian falls into a coma. In which Rocky film? Which entry?
And then she wakes up in the year 2000. Oh, we got a lot of the same answers coming in. Extra credit. Which movie did she die in or no longer?
Oh, okay.
I think Elizabeth was talking to Zach, or was she talking to you?
No, she's talking to me.
Okay.
Elizabeth, they come over a lot and we watch movies, and she's like, "I never saw this one." I said, "Are you kidding?"
School is in session. The answer is Rocky 2.
Rocky 2. Yep. After giving birth, she falls into a coma because she loses a lot of blood, and so that causes Rocky to not train properly, which of course the fight scene at the end is that much more dramatic because he's still not quite at the level he should be.
Yep.
But he manages to win anyway. So yeah, there you go.
And then Ray Fry got the secondary, the kicker. He got the kicker question correct. Rocky Balboa. Which is very sad as well. I mean, a lot of people didn't like some of those later films, but that one had a lot of. It went back to the roots. I always thought Rocky 5 did too. People hated Rocky 5, but this one kind of really went back. And him coping without Adrian and Paulie was there, still harassing him though.
Yeah,
and he wins. He won.
He wins.
He won in that one.
Yeah.
I've got spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Rocky 2, he won.
Didn't he? Well, there wouldn't be any other films. I mean, come on.
Well, you could
even win in Rocky 2, the rematch.
You keep swinging at it. That would be a good series of it. He never wins.
He never wins.
And you know what? People would keep going, expecting to see, is he finally going to win? And then he just doesn't. Right? That would be you would keep going. Like, oh, is this going to be the one where he finally wins? You could carry that all the way instead of winning all the time. So my final question, as we thank everybody for joining us, and again, tomorrow we've got a new episode coming out, a tribute to the great Ray Liotta. Not talking about a specific film, but just really celebrating some of our favorite performances. And we'd love to hear some of yours tomorrow when we post the episode. If you could put it in the chat tomorrow on our Facebook group, it would be great just to really celebrate this fine actor who we lost, way too soon. Again, it would have been easy for him to get pigeonholed, but if you go look at his filmography, he absolutely did not. He did so many different diverse things, and we wanted to honor and celebrate those non-Goodfella films, right? The non-Goodfella films. We could, we've done that episode, but we wanted to kind of give everybody a little bit deeper look at such a great actor who will be sorely missed. So, final question for the night is, and should be a slam dunk. What is the name of the mouse in The Green Mile?
Oh, that's a great one. Yep.
And there's probably not a dry eye in the house when he comes out at the end, rolling his spool.
Yeah.
Right. He kind of tumbles out of the box, kind of looking a little frazzled, a little matted.
Yeah.
Little. But we got some different answers here. We've got a Sparky.
Sparky, there you go.
We've got Jibs and Jabs. And we've got a couple of other ones. We'll give you a little opportunity to jump in and get your answer, and then we will draw some prizes. Make sure I got everybody on the wheel of names. Give you another 5 seconds. Give us, throw it in what you think, and don't look on Google for it. But what is the name of the mouse in The Green Mile, who actually ends up getting spanked? It's not Sam Wheat. Pretty close though. He ends up getting squashed by the evil. The actor is Doug Hutchison.
Yeah.
That guy was so oh my God. If there was ever a guy that had a punchable, if every guy had a punchable face in the film was him.
Oh my God.
But then this character of the mouse, I'm not going to give his name yet. He gets a second chance, not only a second chance at life, but he gets a chance at extended life. And two people got it right. And Zach was first up with Mr. Jingles. And Dwight, of course, right behind.
I hope you got that one because that's one of your favorite movies, Zach. So
with Mr. Jingles. So Mr. Jingles was the name of the mouse that kind of endeared himself to all the guards in that prison block, that cell area. Mm-hmm. Except for one guard, it just really had it in for for Mr. Jingles. But that guard got taken care of. They straight jacketed him, and
everybody.
They threw him. They threw him in the
they got him good
solitary, and he just got taken care of. So,
and the great Michael Jeter, who was Mr. Jingles' owner, boy, it was heartbreaking to see him watch him die before he actually has to go to the chair. It was oh my God,
it was just
horrible.
Tough movie, Stephen King tearjerker, but that's gonna do it. So let's draw some. Let's draw some winners for Sour Patch Kids. We're gonna get a case of it sending your way. So you could share if you're greedy and not sharing. You know what? Eat the whole thing yourself. That's okay. No judgment. Take one with you. Put a couple in your car, or if you want to share them, do that as well. You could share them as well and be a pal and kind of hand out some packages of Sour Patch Kids. We're gonna give away two boxes of these, and we'll send them out to you. And get them out to you directly. So let's get the wheel up. We got to get that going. I didn't put the wheel on. Or did I? Nope. Where is the wheel? Share. Screen. Doop. There it is, the wheel of names. Here it comes. We're trotting it out. The official Dwight Burke Wheel of Names. We've got 8 people tonight. A little light, but that's all right. That means your chances are better. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do, I'm going to pick the clicks. We'll do 3 shuffles. There you go. 1, 2, 3. And here comes your first winner for a 24-pack of Sour Patch Kids. John DeGoog. John DeGoog. Congratulations, sir. If you're not here, if you're here, congratulations. If you're not here, we'll get your address and we'll have it sent out to you. So congratulations, John. We'll remove you, though. We need to take you out because you won already.
Remove you.
We're going to remove you from this right now because you can't. Oh, there you are, John.
Love your inflections, Dean.
That's what this is all about. It's about inflection. Mm-hmm. It's about putting emphasis in certain places.
Just the right words.
Yeah, and then pulling back when needed. That's what it is. So, congratulations for breaking my heart. There we go. A couple of congrats. Let's do 6. We'll double the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is for another 24-pack of Sour Patch Children. Who is it going to be? Mr. Sean Grady is going to be taken home, and he's got children.
Congratulations.
Sean, I don't know if you let your kids eat this kind of sugary stuff. I don't know if it's going to put them over the edge, or you can kind of bribe them to do
probably
chores.
Like, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot.
You can bribe them to do chores. I mean, what you do with your Sour Patch Kids is up to you.
Yeah.
If you want to dangle them and again, use it as a, kind of a carrot on a stick to get things done. Well done, everybody. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Like I said, we're going to do a proper real trivia night with scoring and visuals and photos and all that kind of stuff. We're working up to it. Expect to see that at the end of the month, which will be our final live show in June. Jeez. It started with J. That's looking like June 29th. So we'll have a score sheet where we'll do a couple of rounds, just like We'll probably do 3 rounds like we do in normal trivia. You'll have to be on the honor system and keep your own score. It's, we have to, you got to do something. We can't do everything, but we'll have that. We'll kind of really do a nice general knowledge, probably a movie and something with some photos and stuff like that. So,
yep.
Yeah, bedtime. Sean's saying bedtimes are in the toilet now. Once you start giving kids candy at night, forget it. It's on like Donkey Kong. And Ray is just saying, you know what?
Yeah.
Ray is using one of my favorite quotes. Sharing is caring, Sean. So why don't you share some of those Sour Patch Kids? Thank you, Ray. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it, John. Thank you very much. Everybody, again, check out our episode tomorrow. And like Ray says, sharing is caring. So if you would share our posts, that would be great to kind of spread the word. It's a grassroots effort. And basically, it doesn't cost us anything. We don't have to run ads. So there it is. If you can kind of help us do that and keep the cost down, we won't have to do a pledge drive like PBS.
There you go. And as always, we're always looking for feedback, ideas for shows, ideas for comments about our episodes. Don't forget about our Ray Liotta episode tomorrow.
Yep.
It's a good one. We're paying tribute to a great actor.
Absolutely.
Check it out.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. The 2 winners, we will get the prizes out to you directly. So I should have both of your addresses somewhere. So I'll just kind of send it. If I don't, I'll reach out to you. But for Eric, this has been Dean, and we're putting our hankies away. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
You've been listening to the 3324 podcast with Dean Legiro and Eric Kuber. You can find us on your favorite podcast provider, so please like, subscribe, and rate to become a part of the 3324 family. Your feedback is important, so make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at 3324 Podcast and on Twitter at 3324P to join the conversation.